Guys, it's Stephen here, back with another video and back with another match review as Manchester City travel to Olympiacos tomorrow in the Champions League, which hopefully might be a little bit respite given everything that's going on in the world of Manchester City at the moment, those horrible Tottenham-invoked blues, goddamn Spurs in general. But before I get into this video, I want to say go check out the video I did yesterday, a deep, long dive into where I personally feel Manchester City are going wrong at the moment. I tried to be as rational, analytical and fair as I could do while trying to assess the situation. Go watch that. There'll be a card on screen right now, and also it'll be again at the end of the video as well for you to click after watching this, of course. For now though, please do hit the subscribe button and like if you are new to the channel. I'll try and be reasonable and rational around here. Hopefully you enjoy it. But let's get into this preview then. It's a pretty interesting game. I mean, it's not the most exciting game in the world, but this could be it could be a nice antidote given everything around the moment. City do need a little bit of a response after that Spurs game, and I'm almost certain Guardiola will be looking for a response too. Guardiola was also pretty vocal in the press conference, and he said on Manchester City's perceived failures, he said the reason why is the manager. He blamed himself, which is good to hear. He said, I have to find a way. I have to find a way to adapt the qualities that we have, because the same players in different seasons can make different movements and can be in better form or not better form. He said, and he carried on to say, I have to adjust something to let them feel we can create more chances. That's interesting, to let them feel. I wonder if they feel a little bit shackled at the moment. I wonder if he's feeling that way about the players. He said, it's in my hands to help them. When I see the teams in the games, how they try and they suffer and they do it, that's when I'm at my happiest I can feel as a manager, which is kind of strange. I think what he's getting at there is that he feels like the players, even if they're suffering, but they're trying to integrate his tactics, he feels kind of assured that the players are still with him or something like that. I'm not saying he's happy with the players suffering, but what he means, he's happy that the players are still trying to respond to him, I guess. He said finally they want to do it and they have to find a way to help them be what we were in the previous seasons. Even when we struggle, we have to find a way. We have enough players to score and we're going to do it. And he went on to say about on defending and attacking, he said, do you think we changed from the first season? This was a question mark to a journalist, I guess. The first action was not a counter. They ran 2 times in 90 minutes, and the second one they were brilliant. We conceded 2 counter-attacks, another was offside and no more. We shot more, we crossed more, we didn't concede a corner. We cannot expect to create a lot of Spurs, but even with that we tried to find a way. But even then, with that we created. Aside from Liverpool, all teams defend so deep, we have to find a way to avoid. Basically, he's come out kind of saying he needs to do more. He's come out slightly defending his team, which is what you'd expect, and he's come out and said that they need to change and find a way to score, while also saying we did play well against Spurs-ish. We kind of did-ish at times, I admit, but we weren't good enough, and I think he does know that. So this is going to be a game where I think Guardiola may try a slight new thing or two. Maybe he's not had time to implement it yet, but I'm still probably going to expect some goals. City have won 6 of the last 7 Champions League games. Obviously, the anomaly, unfortunately, was Lyon. And we've scored at least 3 goals in the last 3 matches in the Champions League. So we have scored plenty of goals. So overall, this is going to be an interesting game. In terms of the team news, this is where the good news is, actually. Guardiola said everyone's fit. Everyone's fit apart from Ake, unfortunately. Nathan Ake, though, is back on Friday, which is once again wonderful news. We could have a big, healthy, bouncing squad, which is wonderful going into the Christmas period in general. Though, interestingly, the big takeaway from this is that Kevin Walker and Kyle De Bruyne, Kyle Walker and Kevin De Bruyne have both just been kind of left at home. They've been rested for this. They haven't travelled with the squad, and that's entirely because they're tired, not because that they're injured or anything like that. Guardiola's just confirmed that they're having a rest. They're not in a travelling squad, and that's probably a good call if we're being honest. I mean, Walker looks tired. He runs all the time, never misses a game. He looks knackered, and so does Kevin De Bruyne. He looks frustrated to me at the moment, and he needs a week at home with his newborns. He's got a new baby, don't forget, so he's probably knackered anyway. He needs a little bit of time to recuperate and rest and chill at home, and he's going to get that, and it's probably not a bad idea given the fact that we're relatively comfortable, touch wood, at the moment in the group stages. So that's interesting. In terms of the travelling squad, all the regulars are there, and Mendy's back in the squad, which is good news, of course, and Fernandinho is back in the squad, and Aguero, all available for selection. And then there's the token academy lads in the Nature, Doyle and Cole Palmer, which is very interesting. So in terms of the actual lineup, I mean, I don't know. I've got a feeling we're going to see quite a few changes here. Obviously, it's going to be Ederson in goal. It could be Zach Steffen. He might just randomly give him a game, but we're not through yet, so I wouldn't expect it to be that just yet, personally. Did we go through, by the way, if we win this? Let me just double check. I think we do, don't we? Champions League Group C table. Let me double check. We'll be, if we win this game, we should be through, yeah. Yeah, no, we will be very basically all but through. Yeah, we are free if we win this game, basically. I'm pretty certain we are. So that's good news anyway. And then, so in terms of the team, Ederson's going to start, basically, what I'm getting at. Right back's going to be Joao Cancelo because Kyle Walker's not there, so it's going to be Cancelo, which I think will also mean it'll be Zinchenko at left back. He was pretty good in the Champions League. I think it's Marseille, so he'll get a start here. And then in defence, I've got a sneaky feeling Diaz will sit this one out with Stones coming in, possibly alongside Laporte. Maybe Garcia, but I think it'll be alongside Laporte. So I think Stones and Laporte, Zinchenko and Cancelo in defence. I'm really struggling with this next bit. I've got a strange feeling in general, so I'm not going to have the balls to actually go for it in this lineup. But if we start an academy player like one of Doyle or Nemacha or Palmer, don't be surprised. I've got a feeling this could happen, but I'm not going to go for it. I'm not going to be bold enough to say it. I'm just going to be boring and predictable and say Gundogan's going to be there with Bernardo. And probably Phil Foden, I reckon. I reckon it'll be that. I don't think Fernandinho's going to start this one yet, and I think Rodri will sit this one out as well. I think Fernandinho probably isn't quite ready yet to get into the lineup, and I think that's probably understandable. Unless he is, you never know, because Fernandinho is obviously very athletic in general, so he might be fine to start, but I can't see it. And then up top, I'm tempted to say it'll be Sterling on the left, because he's obviously sat the game against Spurs out. Sterling on the left, then Gabriel Jesus as the striker on the right. I think Torres will get a start over Mahrez. I think he might do. Once again, don't be surprised if someone like Cole Palmer starts, but I think it'll be Torres. Maybe not actually. Maybe Mahrez. I'm going to see Mahrez actually. I'm taking it back. No, Torres. It could be Torres through the middle. Gabriel Jesus might get a rest, and it could be Torres through the middle. But I'm going to say Sterling, Torres, and Jesus with Aguero on the bench and Mahrez on the bench there. That's what I reckon will happen. Not what I would personally do. I would be really bold, by the way. I'd go for like Cancelo, Stones, Laporte, Zinchenko. I would honestly play Doyle with probably a safe-ish midfield alongside him. Someone like Gundogan and then Bernardo, I reckon. I know maybe Palmer. Why not? Gundogan, Doyle and Palmer. Go for it. Go for it, lads. Maybe Palmer can play out wide. Who knows? No one knows. In terms of the opposition, it's been a really weird start to the season for Olympiacos. They could be without 9 first-team players, including Vinegar. I can't pronounce that. Holebas, the ex-Watford player, wasn't it? Rafinha, Papadopoulos, Valbuena, Bruma, Hassan, loads of players basically. And Guardiola even said, I have full respect for Olympiacos. I know they've struggled as we did at the beginning of the season with injuries, but they remain a team built to win every game. And even though they have some injuries and struggle, I have all the respect and I'm more concerned about what we have to do as a team to win another game. Yeah, Olympiacos, despite all their injuries, they're actually doing pretty well in their own league basically. They're currently top of the table in the Greek league, which is pretty impressive given everything, given all their injuries. They beat Panathinaikos as well the weekend, which is a pretty decent performance for them. Obviously, Panathinaikos aren't what they quite used to be, but they were former Greek giant, I guess. And in general, they're a decent little team, but they are without so many players, and I would not be surprised if they're playing essentially what is a reserve team. They do have to win this game to have any chance of going through, I would say. Not necessarily, actually. It depends if Marseille beat Porto. Actually, do you know what? They might go for this, but I wouldn't be surprised if they look at this game and go, we're not going to win this one. Let's try and win the other two against Porto and Marseille. And that's very, very reasonable for them. I mean, they did start off pretty well. I mean, who did they beat in their first game? They beat Marseille with 1-0 victory, and then they've lost back-to-back games since then. So it's not going perfectly for them. So it's very possible they could go through, but I wouldn't be surprised if they play a little bit of a reserve team. In terms of my prediction, I've got a feeling this game could be, alright. I think City probably will turn up, and I think we'll probably have a little bit too much for Olympiacos. They'll have their eyes elsewhere, if I'm being honest. And I'm expecting City to look kind of what they usually look like, a decent-ish start, score a couple of goals, go through the motions a little bit, and then eventually secure their passage into the knockout stages of the Champions League, the knockout stages in general. And I think that's probably okay. I mean, I'd love to see some academy players get involved, and I want to see a reaction from the players. I want to see a reaction from Guardiola. As I said in my video, which go watch, it'll be on screen any minute now, I want to see Guardiola be a little bit bolder, I understand they haven't got much time on the training ground at the moment to try and fix any problems or or anything like that. But I still want to see Manchester City and Guardiola try something new if it's not working. Get that whiff back in the team. The best performance of the season so far in terms of creativity probably was the Marseille game where we played Foden on the left, Sterling on the right, Zinchenko on left foot, right foot. You know, that kind of thing. Sounded a bit crazy, didn't it? But I want to see a little bit more of that. I want to see Manchester City try and address the problems. Guardiola's been very vocal about needing width in the past. Maybe we can do that in this game. Maybe we can try a few things. Give maybe someone like Cole Palmer a game. He was really good against Burnley, and I've got a feeling he could be decent in a game like this as well. Who knows? It's interesting though. I will of course be doing a watch log, and don't forget the game is actually earlier tomorrow. It's at 6 p.m, like 5 or 6 or something like that. Either way, I will be doing a watch along, so I want to see you there. Go and check out the video I did yesterday. It's a big, honest, reasonable dive into Manchester City's problems. Do hit the like button, give this video a comment, I guess, and subscribe if you are on this channel. For now though, I'll see you in a bit.